Hello, 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 and good morning, world, and welcome back to yet another fun-filled episode here with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast as we embark upon what will be another great episode this morning. And so, yes, world, we are back like a shark attack, back like we love some, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back, and for the world is a better place when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so, thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we conversate about the latest sports topics that have taken place in this past week and will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in and participate with us every weekend. As a reminder that every week, we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, as well as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast page on Instagram at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD. Again, live on IG right now at the Early Morning Sports Talk POD. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, or just basically where anywhere you can find your podcast. As well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and Jones, as well as our guest for this weekend. Today is December 30th of 2023, and we have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world, where we saw the Cleveland Browns continue their winning ways with fresh off the couch quarterback Joe Flacco, looking like the old Joe Flacco. And he reminded the world, y'all, that even though he got off the couch, the man still has a laser bullet of an arm. What an arm Joe Flacco has, and what an arm to just lead this guy to possibly be somewhere in the Hall of Fame. On the other hand, we celebrated the Cleveland Browns getting their getting their playoff berth and looking like a dangerous squad heading into the new year with a very special defense. While on the other hand, the Denver Broncos, in the midst of a wild card chase, bench starting quarterback Russell Wilson for $37 million financial purposes, causing strong speculations now if the Denver Broncos will indeed look to move on from Russell Wilson this offseason. On the other hand, the NFL's wild card as well as MVP race are overly heated and waiting to explode within the next 2 weeks, as well as some huge NBA brands continuing their losing ways, such as the LA Lakers. And of course, the infamous old look / new look Detroit Lions, but actually Detroit Pistons, whom are setting unbeatable records out here on losing streaks, which is now at 28 games. This so happened to be in the same week that the Detroit Lions, right, fellas, for the first time, since what, 30 some years, has actually won their division, clinching the NFC North. While some others are big surprises, hence the Philadelphia 76ers, OKC Thunder, Timberwolves, and even the Orlando Magic. However, y'all, today will not just be a rewind of the past week in sports. We are bringing you all through a very, very special Early Morning Sports Talk podcast as we run through the year of 2023. And my, what a year it has been in sports. And so with that being said, introducing our guest for this morning on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Joining us for the first time on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, our brother, Mr. Rod Isaac. Mr. Rod Isaac is the host of a fantastic and growing podcast that I checked out called Rod Uncensored Network, and we connected on a podcast promotion page on Facebook, which the Rod Uncensored Network can be found on all major platforms or wherever you can find your podcast. And sorry, ladies, unfortunately, Rod is taken. Again, Rod is already taken and has been married for 2 years now. He is from Aberdeen, Maryland, all up there in the DMV area. He is a longtime and devout Lakers, Patriots, and Baltimore Orioles fan, but supports Jackson State and Tennessee Volunteers college football as well. And so we thank you, Rod, for taking the time out of your busy schedule and joining us, my brother, for what will be a very special Early Morning Sports Talk podcast show this morning. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing all right, but man, I only been married a year. It's about to be a year in May.
Oh.
But I appreciate the spin, man. I'm telling you, make me feel like you was DJ Khaled, man. You doing a good job, man.
I appreciate it, man.
We the best.
And thank you, man. Thank you, man, for informing us that you've been married for a year now. And so, yes, congratulations to you on that marriage, man, and all blessings, literally, from our brothers. You know, my brother Jamar and myself, man.
Absolutely.
the absolute best in your marriage, man. Absolutely, yes. By the way, Jamar is married. I've been married almost for 8 years myself. And so, additionally, introducing my brother from another mother and one of my partners here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Man, I am doing excellent. I'm ready to, recap this wonderful, eventful year in the sports world, fellas.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes. And lastly, introducing our other partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast and our other brother from another mother, Mr. Ian Jones, aka Rod Tidwell. We know he is not with us, but he will be with us shortly. And so you will get a chance and we will get a chance to speak with Ian. And so, with that being said, all right, fellas, for today's show, we are doing a rundown for the year of 2023. We have categories that have been thought out prior to, and now is the time where we debate and or conversate on what stood out for us the most. And so, fellas, if you guys are ready to begin, then let's get right into it. And so, before we begin, however, we first want to give the spotlight to our guest, Mr. Rod Isaac, host and founder of the Rod Uncensored Network. And so, just curious for our viewers this morning, Rod, we would like to know, can you tell us more about the Rod Uncensored Network and how we can find or support you?
You can find it on YouTube. I'm on YouTube right now, Rod Uncensored Network. I talk about countless things. I don't put myself in a box.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about sports, of course, but I talk about some real life stuff, depression, divorce. I've been through divorce, a bad divorce. I just talk about life on there. I think people need to talk life, man, especially during the holiday time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people going through a lot of depression and toxic thoughts right now. So I talk about being a parent, talk about a little bit of everything on my channel.
No, that's real. That's dope. Absolutely. And we totally feel and understand that and support that, man. In this day and time, you got mental health issues happening. You got suicides at an alarming rate. You got crime. You got just so much going on, right, Jamar? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, man. That makes total sense, bro. And so we feel that. And so, Rob, we appreciate you jumping on with us this morning. And so we are blessed and grateful, however, that you are a sports fan. And so with that being said, yes, our special guest, Rod Isaac, we will now get into the 2023 recap. And so, fellas, we have a bunch of moments that stood out in 2023. And so for our category, we want to know what was the most memorable sports moments for you in 2023. And so, Jamar, we'll start with you. And then from there, we'll go with you, Rod. And so, out of all the moments listed below, what was the most memorable sports moment for you in 2023? First, it's Angel Reese pointing to her finger, fellas, showing Caitlin Clark that she was about to get that Natty Championship ring during the 2023 National Championship, Women's National Championship. And then, of course, when she did that, how all of white America wanted to, talk about the girl and say she was this and that and ghetto and blah, blah, blah. But if you remember, Rod, it was funny that prior to, Caitlin was doing this to other teams and, she's great. She's fantastic. On the other hand, Tom Brady announcing his retirement from an illustrious football career. Coach Prime's effect on the University of Colorado in the town of Boulder, Colorado, all type of celebrities, everybody coming through there to support Coach Prime in the University of Colorado. Damar Hamlin's of Buffalo Bills safety cardiac arrest situation during a Monday night Buffalo's Bill game versus the Cincinnati Bengals, as well as Brittany Griner's return to the WNBA after being detained in Russia for 294 days. And so, Jamar, we're going to start with you, and from there, we'll go with you, Rod. What stood out to you? What was the most memorable sports moment out of those categories that stood out for you, Jamar?
Man, those were definitely some highlighted categories throughout this year for sure. The one that I would say that I gravitated to the most for me was Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and that whole just the whole atmosphere, the whole movement of him going to Colorado and the hype and just how just the novice, like everyday person all of a sudden became a Colorado Boulders fan. It was, just remarkable to see, him getting the opportunity to actually go to a D1, more so Power 5 conference school that actually gave him an opportunity. I know initially he wanted to be the coach of Florida State years ago. That didn't happen, so he had to take, the road less traveled, went to Jackson State, did his thing, and then ended up at Colorado where, Travis Hunter followed him. His sons followed him.
Mhm.
We saw nothing unlike it with the transfer portal at the time, with all basically about over 90% of the roster from the previous year gone, brought in his guys, basically changing the culture. And then when they actually had their first home game, all these celebrities coming out, it made it seem like you was at Staples Center or Crypto Arena, whatever it's called these days, just to have that atmosphere, that glow, that aura. And granted, they only won 4 games this year, but nevertheless, I mean, it's still, it's still a movement, it's still growth that's happening. This is a real thing. So I'm even going forward, I'm excited to see what they're going to do when they actually bring on quote unquote dogs in that he was missing this year. So yeah, that one stuck out to me the most for sure.
Yeah. Right, my brother. So Angel Reese pointing to her finger, Caitlin Clark in the Natty, Tom Brady retirement, Coach Prime effect on Colorado, DeMar Hamlin's cardiac situation, and Brittany Griner returning from Russia. Which one stood out to you the most?
I think it was Tom Brady's retirement. For me personally, being somebody that watched him since I was a little young, a little snapper drinking sugar water. To see him retire, it was crazy to see, because I just witnessed a lot of greatness. Him coming back from a 25-point, discrepancy, coming back from that 25-3 lead. Atlanta had just countless moments Tom Brady had as a Patriot fan. It was a very emotional thing for me to see him retire how he did, and he still was playing pretty good. You know what I mean? One year he should have beat Aaron Rodgers for MVP, but I think that was the biggest moments. But the Caitlin Clark thing was definitely gangster. Her doing that Tony Yo-Yo, you can't see me, was definitely hard. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm a petty person. Sorry, God's still working with me. God's still working with my pettiness.
Right,
man.
Yeah. And Rod, I feel you, man. Like, man, I look at the moments here. I'm gonna highlight the women, fellas. I'm gonna highlight both of the women here. And so I'm with you, man. Angel Reese pointing to her finger, showing Caitlin Clark that she was about to get that natty ring. And it was just so crazy how in America, man, the differences we have, which hinders us, as we know, fellas. How Caitlin Clark, as we remember, we was talking about this, right? We was talking about, we got proof on footage video with our previous podcasts, as we do every Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Had Caitlin Clark against Louisville. Had Caitlin Clark against South Carolina in the Final Four, fellas. Remember, South Carolina was right there. That was my pick to win the national championship, all right? I thought Dawn Staley was going to get it again. I thought her and what was the girl that got drafted by the Indiana Fever, man? Aaliyah Boston, something like that, right, Jamar?
Yeah. Yep.
And so, I'm thinking they finna get it, and Caitlin Clark, just was dominating, bro. But how she was doing pretty much the Tony Yo too. You know what I'm saying? And Angel Reese got her back because Caitlin Clark was doing it first. And she was doing it against all the opponents and doing it for previous years. But white America was, oh yes, she just got swag. Oh, she got so much swag. She got the Kobe killer mentality and the swag. And Angel Reese do it, and all of a sudden everybody need to call the police. Everybody need to, question her character. Oh, she's ghetto. She's from the inner city. She's this girl and she's that girl. And so with that, I suppose that caused, friction, as it always does in America, to make people say, okay, she's this and she's that. And so that was a really proud moment. And I was really proud to see, fellas, after that national championship, how the media and how Black America stood up for Angel Reese, because that's more of what needs to be done for our women out there, fellas. They need to be protected, and they need to be protected from the ills of society that wants to label them and that wants to degrade them and that wants to put them in the box. And so, Angel Reese, shout out to you on that national championship. On the other hand, Brittney Griner, fellas, we remember Brittney Griner was one of the most dominant figures in women's basketball, right? 3 championships with the Phoenix Mercury, multiple MVPs, had just come off the WNBA Finals, fellas. If you remember, we remember, Rob, because we're Chicago Sky fans. That's our WNBA team. And we had just won a championship. We had just beat the Phoenix Mercury. And so we was fresh off that. Brittney Griner dominated that series. And then we look up literally in the offseason, and what? She detained in Russia? And we know Russia could be a little rough. It could be stubborn, etc. Russia don't like the United States. United States don't like Russia. And so, at least from a government perspective, that is. And so, folks were worried. And so it was really, really nice, y'all, to see Brittney Griner return back to the court and just get back to, being her usual self. And so she's still in the process, fellas, of getting her, I would say, her swag back on the court, because she was away for, almost a year. But that was a really, really good moment to see that she was safe. Really, really good moment to just see that young lady was safe. And so, yeah, fellas, that's what I got, man. That's what I got for the most memorable moment.
But the biggest problem is the WNBA, man. Need to get that money up, man.
Yep.
It's crazy to me to see these girls going overseas, and we got enough leagues for the NBA though. Mm-hmm. We got the G League. You know what I mean? You gotta come up with some ideas to expand the WNBA. You got 2 stars coming in next season in that draft. You got Clark. You got Reese.
Mm-hmm.
You can make this into like a Magic and Bird situation.
Mm-hmm. No, this
and you're not. You better get it right.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fact. I was gonna say the fact that the NBA is a partner with them, you would think, and they making all this revenue, you would think that there should be more resources that they can give more attention to the WNBA to do what it has to do. So, like you said, Rod, for them not to go overseas during the off season, because that's a long off season without in between seasons for the WNBA. So you would think they could figure something else out for them to stay over here and continue to grow that league for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
And I always said this, man. I want to be long-winded, but I always said, why don't they do like a shoot-off, WNBA versus the NBA? I mean, just like the best shooters in WNBA, a 3-point contest.
Oh, okay. That'd be interesting.
Texas.
Mm-hmm. I know as a Chicago fan, Chicago Sky fan, Jamar Ali Quigley gonna be in that joint.
Got to.
Allie Quigley, Caitlin Clark.
And I think it'd be competitive too.
Yeah.
Very competitive.
Mm-hmm. Who else? Chelsea Gray from the Las Vegas Aces. She can shoot that thing. Jackie Young, fellas. Breanna Stewart from the New York Liberty.
Yeah, Breanna Stewart, she's an American sniper.
She's the KD in the WNBA, bro. She's the KD.
Dude, matter of fact, her and KD in that shootout. Let's go.
I'm telling you, that'll be prime time, Jamal. Real, that'll be prime time. Breanna Stewart versus KD. Breanna Stewart got game, man. That girl dropped 50 on you in her sleep. And so, yeah, fellas, yes. And thank you. I appreciate you pointing that out, Rob, because, me and Jamar were in, et cetera, earlier this year, that it was huge for Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark to do what they did, because that moment, although America kind of looked at it as this girl being ghetto, remember that since the decline of the men's NCAA, right, Jamar, that decline from the men's NCAA tournament to where Chicago State now can upset Purdue. That's the men's NCAA tournament now. Ivy Tech Community College, your local community college can upset Maryland now in college basketball. It happens now. Like anybody can get anybody. Whereas on the women's side, we got still that tradition. We know the programs. We got the great players that standing out, etc. And so with that, we saw the viewings at an all-time half of that tournament. Folks wanted to see this ghetto girl versus this, America's darling, as they say. You know what I'm saying? And to see that happen, the ratings was just on the roof. And so, Rod, as you state, bro, hopefully now they can use those two young ladies as they go to the WNBA to build that brand up and turn that business from a loss to a profit, a real profit, that is, that can compare to the NBA, Yeah, absolutely. And so, yes. And so, fellas, if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and let's progress with the most impressive individual moment of accomplishment in 2023. And so we've had a variety of moments from this year. And so, as a rewind, fellas, John Bones returned to the UFC heavyweight division after a 3-year hiatus, fighting zero gain in less than 2 minutes. NHL's Edmonton Oilers center Connor McDavid's historic 153-point season in which he won his 5th goal-scoring title, aka the Art Ross Trophy. Novak Djokovic dominating the 2023 season, winning a record-breaking 7th ATP final and losing only one tournament in which he lost in the final, fellas, in the final set, the 5th set. Lionel Messi leading Inter Miami from an irrelevant franchise to the franchise's first ever League Cup title, as well as U.S. Open Cup final. And so that was a great story as well. LeBron James breaking the all-time NBA scoring record. And then the 19-year-old Coco Gauff finally getting over that hump as a very young girl and winning her first Grand Slam title. And so, again, John Bone Jones, NHL, Novak Djokovic, Lionel Messi, LeBron, Coco Gauff. Jamar, who you got, bro, is the most impressive individual accomplishment?
I mean, all of them definitely, deserve to be in this category. But, I'm going to have to go with the one that probably seems like a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and that's LeBron winning the scoring title. I mean, we grew up watching that guy as well as plenty of others. And Brandon, as you know, I'm not the biggest LeBron fan like that. That's more so you and Ian's guy. But, I respect greatness. And I do, give people their flowers that deserve it. And so the fact that LeBron's longevity, LeBron's ability to consistently find the basket, he's not even labeled as a scorer. He's not. That's not the first thing you think of when you talk about LeBron James. It's more so the all-around game itself. And so, for him to do that and for us to witness that, because, and he's still going at this rate, we probably never see that broken, ever. And, a part of our lifetime again. So he deserves I think this one's the biggest one for me in this category.
Yeah. Rod, who you got for the most impressive individual accomplishment of 2023?
I got two people really. I think John Jones, what he did, he was sitting on the couch for like 5 years.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And to pull Game down to the mat like that and choke him out like that, it was crazy that night. But also, you know what I mean? I got to say, LeBron, what LeBron's been doing, man, how smart he is. I'm sorry, I call him Teflon Bron, because how these young boys look at him, they be like a deer in headlights. There's no way he should have got through that in-season tournament like that and got them points like that. Like, it's crazy to witness an 18-year-old been starting his whole career for 21 years in the NBA score that many points. And he came as more like a point forward in the league, giving assists, rebounds, you know what I mean, and scoring a little bit. But, you know what I mean, I'm seeing the stats saying this year his 3-point percentage is better than Steph Curry right now in the regular season. So it's crazy. He's just getting better and better every year.
And this is facts. A lot of people are sleeping on LeBron's 3-point ability this season. I've noticed it, bro. I'm like, LeBron, he's hitting a lot of them threes now, man. Like, and that's been the missing part of his game for most of his career. You know?
And there's a lot of Micah Knights out here, though. There's a lot of Micah Knights out here, man. They come out like GDs. I'm sorry. They come out like GDs.
Right. We talking about gangster disciples.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you know? And they come out giving that business. You right, man. Like, no, for real. LeBron and Tom Brady, man, they got me motivated to not age on the real. Like, yeah, looking at them, I'm like, how come I can't go out there and still hoop? I'm not finna walk around. Oh man, I'm all old, man. I can't move how I used to move. No. Right? So looking at them guys, man, and seeing their greatness, LeBron ain't making no excuses, and AD is the most talented player on the team. On the other hand, right, with LeBron, he's the most consistent player on that team. You don't have to worry about LeBron, right, Rod? You know that LeBron is going to come and he's going to perform, and that's what he does every time. You know, every time. And so I can see
he's a great motivator too. He's a great motivator for them young boys too. So,
yes, absolutely, fellas. Yes. I just want to give a very special shout out to Coco Gauff. Y'all, 19-year-old Coco Gauff on winning her first Grand Slam title, and just, you know, seeing that being done by a young Black woman, very young. I'm not sure if she was the youngest, but I think I gotta check my stats. She might have been the youngest ever, but
I don't know, man. Serena Venus, you might have to look that stats up.
We gotta look that up but you know, her being 19 was huge. And you know, seeing her get done, you know, after her come in pretty much and win and upset folks, you know, to see her finally get that US Open was huge. It was really, really huge. And so man, you know, fantastic. And so I'm literally looking it up, and so yeah, she's not the youngest, but you know, I'm also just reading about some other kids that's teenagers that's doing great things too on the men's side. And so shout out to Coco Gauff. That was very, very impressive to see from a young Black lady to win that. And so, fellas, if you guys are ready, let's progress now to the best championship of 2023. And so here's the note, fellas. Who had the most impressive championship in 2023? Georgia Bulldogs over TCU in the all-time rout. Kansas City Chiefs overcoming a huge halftime deficit alongside Patrick Mahomes, fellas, playing on an injured ankle. And remember, if you guys remember watching, us football fans, we watched Patrick Mahomes be injured in the AFC Championship game and win what looked like was improbable against Cincinnati last year. And then us questioning the whole time, the whole 2 weeks, is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be good? Is he going to be good in the Super Bowl against Philly? And so seeing him against Jalen Hurts and seeing them win that game with Jalen Hurts and them playing a fantastic, I mean, they played as best as you can play, fellas. So anyhow, let me quick answering questions already. The Denver Nuggets over the Miami Heat. The Las Vegas Aces super team over the New York Liberty super team and the classic WNBA Finals matchup. And then Japan beating the United States in the World Baseball Classic where Shohei Ohtani struck out then teammate Mike Trout to take home the championship and make us have second place. And so, fellas, Georgia over TCU, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, the Nuggets over Miami, Angel Reese's LSU Lady Tigers over Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes, forgot to mention that. The Las Vegas Aces over New York, and then Japan over the United States. Jamar, bro, out of these championships, who is the best championship for you in 2023?
I do want to give notice to Georgia doing what they did. even though that made the game pretty boring. I turned it off by halftime. I mean, that was impressive. But no, my pick is going to be Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes. Because remember, like, he tweaked that angle against Jacksonville initially in that AFC in that second round. And they, Jacksonville was hanging around for a minute in that game until, he got it together. But yeah, the fact that Kansas City was able to win against that Philadelphia Eagles team, which basically last year's version of the Eagles hardly had any weaknesses. Yeah, that team was pretty stout top to bottom. I mean, Kansas City, their first year without Tyreek Hill, which, I'm pretty sure they're regretting that right now. But nevertheless, I mean, they was able to get it done. Him on a bum ankle. Kadarius Toney actually, like Patrick Mahomes, he actually, caught passes and made plays and stuff this year. That's a different story. But yeah, for Kansas City and for him to prove that he can win with without Tyreek Hill, for him to go against a juggernaut of the Philadelphia Eagles to pull that out. I mean, I feel like that one there is a signature win in his career for me. So I'm taking that one.
Yeah. All right, so George over TCU, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, the Nuggets, Nikola Djokovic, the Angel Reese, Lady Tigers over Caitlin Clark, the Aces over the Liberty of Japan beating the United States. It's your best championship.
I think I'm going with I'm sorry, the Aces team, man. They kind of remind me of them Houston Comets, man. I don't think this is gonna end, man. I don't think this is gonna end. I don't think they got nobody in the WNBA got a deep enough roster to mess with them.
Right.
Like, I think that was impressive what they did, man. And also the Japan, man, Otani, man, he's a unicorn, man. We haven't seen this since Babe Ruth. Like we haven't seen nobody that play. He can play outfield. He can play pitcher. He can hit. Like, we haven't seen this since like Babe Ruth. This is a 1-on-1. Like this, we might not never see this for like another 100 years. I'm not Isaac. You know what I mean? I might not see no 100 years. So I'm just saying, like, it's crazy to witness stuff like that.
Facts.
This is absolutely factual, man. Absolutely. And so good morning, Deshaun. Good morning, Deshaun. And so Deshaun, he gave us commentary. He stated he tips his hat to the Denver Nuggets, but Kansas City, no cheater. All right, yes, no Tyreek Hill. Mahomes banged up with an aging Kelsey versus a stacked Eagles team. Also adding the fact that football is one and done. It is always tough to win. You can't build momentum like in the NBA because it's only 4. Yeah. True. Yes. And so, yeah, Deshaun, thank you for giving us that commentary. And, man, that Kansas City Chiefs was very, very interesting, man. And just watching that, it was great to watch. And like Jamar stated, hitting on that Georgia TCU, man, turned that off, and unfortunately, Rod, unfortunately, Deshaun, good morning, Frank. TCU got the national championship, and, unfortunately, that might be the reason why Florida State didn't get in the playoff. Because
that's the main reason. That's the main reason.
They looked at TCU and what happened in that game, and they like, hell no, we do not want to see a 50-0 blowout.
Don't get me started on that one again.
I call the ACC the NFC South.
Oh, okay. We'll speak of the NFC South.
I can see that.
And so, yeah. Good morning, Frank. Competition-wise, it has to be Kansas City Chiefs over Eagles. Denver had it easy. Yeah, this is true, fellas. Denver
I didn't even watch that series. But one game.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, I didn't watch it either, really, guys. I watched the one game that he won in game 1. So the first 2 games, and once I saw Denver do what they was doing, game 3, I'm like, oh yeah, this gonna be pretty easy series for the Nuggets. And they ran through. Now, if we were talking about an impressive championship run, fellas, Denver could have an argument because of how they ran through the playoffs. Their toughest opponent was literally the Phoenix Suns, which was 4-2, with KD them. But even in those games that they won, they blew them away. And so yeah, thanks for highlighting Denver, Frank. They had a nice little run.
I don't want to get started because your boy, man, from Chicago, man. Every time he's seen the Joker, man, he punks out, man. I don't know what we got to go see the Grand Wizard, but he don't play like a player from Chicago. I don't know where he's originally from, but he's
from the rack. He went to man.
We call him street clothes.
Man, he's not tough, man. He don't got the Chicago toughness. Like he don't got it, man.
Yeah, he got
like
that.
I'll be sure, man.
For those that don't know who Al B. Sure is, that's a great singer. And so, yeah, man, like he, but he's soft. I get that, but when it comes to that talent, he got that talent, right, fellas? And so, AD put up 45 and 51.
But like he said, I mean, I don't know. This time around, Jokic definitely, made sure he remembered who he played against, because in the bubble that was another story. But this time around, he could do no wrong against AD. He had nothing for him, nothing.
Yep. I'm telling you, he ate his Chicago pie and took his sweet tea and took it home with him, man. It's just the most disrespectful thing I ever seen.
Yeah. And swept them on top of that, man. The only game AD had in that series really was what? Game 1, I think he had like 40 and 20-some rebounds, but they still lost, And so, like...
L is L.
Right. And so, yeah, man, like, yeah, AD, talented. Definitely talented, man. And so, all right, fellas, let's move on to another category. Let's move on to the dumbest sports moment of 2023. And so, that being said, Ja Morant, Memphis Grizzlies point guard, flashing his gun again for the second time on Instagram after being caught and suspended the first time and talking to Adam Silver, talking to various NBA player executives, and doing it again on IG Live. And so, remember, he got caught and he was punished until he recently just came back a few days ago. USC quarterback Caleb Williams stating that he wants partial ownership of the NFL team that drafts him, and if not, he doesn't want to come. Dylan Brooks trash talking LeBron James in the Western Conference NBA playoffs first round, in which LeBron would go off after he trash talked him. U.S. Olympic sprinter Noah Lyles comment on the NBA stating themselves as world champions, and him questioning NBA players stating themselves as world champions, stating like, world champions of what? And then Spain's Women's World Cup head coach kissing a female player live in front of the media in the world after winning the 2023 Women's World Cup title, in which the woman was clearly uncomfortable. And so, with that being said, what was the dumbest sports moment of 2023, Jamar?
You
just had to laugh at that coach from Spain, man.
I mean, people are people in these days. This one here, I'm gonna have to give it to our boy, Mr. Morant, Mr. Ja Morant on this one, because of the simple fact that, you're basically a repeat offender to a certain degree with some of these dumb antics, but also the fact that you are the best player on the team and was on your way to being the face of the league and all these endorsements, and the Memphis Grizzlies, they're still trying to recover from you being suspended 25 games, because at one point in time, it was before the Pistons had their historic losing streak. I mean, they was at the bottom of the league. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, the Memphis Grizzlies are Ja Morant or bust, and and the fact that you're suspended due to something that's self-inflicting, I mean, that's not a good look. And can I throw out an honorable mention of recent events, Mr. Draymond Green?
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's basically gonna, because that one right there, I mean, that's been years and years, and more recent events just coming to a head. But yeah, Ja Morant for me, because without him, I mean, that team's trash.
Yep.
Point blank period.
One of the worst teams in the league, for sure. Yeah. Rod, brother, what was one of the dumbest sports moments?
You know what I mean? I like to use the D, or you know what I mean. When you have a test, all the above. I think all of the above.
Okay, that's interesting. Why do you state all of the above?
From the guy from Spain forcing himself on the girl, that's crazy. I think all the situations. John Morant want to be Agent Zero, like it's crazy. It's just
right. They all crazy, man. You're right, man. Like we had a ball cracking up at Caleb Williams about a month or two ago when we heard what he stated, man, in regards to the ownership of the teams, etc. Like that was like what? Like we've never heard that before. And so Caleb Williams, man, like just the stuff he's been saying lately, and he stated openly that he does not want to be drafted by the Bears. And so we are Bears fans, and so he had to be in this category. He had to be mentioned. Go ahead, Jamar.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you don't want to come here. I don't want you here either.
Yeah.
And Dylan Brooks is not even the nicest out of Canada. It's SGA and Murray. Like, come on, man. You're not even the top 2 person out of Canada, man.
Right. No, I mean Dort probably better than him too, man.
Yeah, Dort. I can't. Wicked's not even in the top 5 no more, man. He's done, man.
Yeah,
I see why LeBron got him traded, man. I see why he got him traded out of Cleveland, man. He's soft, man. I'm sorry.
You're right,
call
man.
somebody a softy. I call him Reedus. You ever heard of Reedus?
No. Explain to us who is Reedus? What's Reedus?
Reedus is an ice cone spot. He's an ice cone.
Okay.
Dang. And it's wild because when Jimmy was on the Timberwolves that one year, he said he's like probably arguably has like some of the most God-given talent, but just don't have that drive. He don't.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And so, yeah, man. On the other hand, so yeah, fellas, I definitely had Draymond. I had Draymond as a moment. I erased it because we had to only have a certain amount of categories. But yes, Draymond. We can hit on Draymond right now. I mean, at some point it just gets to win is enough, right?
He's about to be on the ban list, man. He's about to be up there with OJ Bayo and them.
Okay. Yeah, man.
He's not wrong. It's all stuff. It's all dumb. It just stupidity. At what point, like, ain't the man about what 30? He's in his mid-30s. Like, at what point is enough is enough? Like, for real.
And I seen a video. He was trying to talk crazy to Metal War Peace. He didn't want no smoke.
Yeah,
he didn't want no smoke with that. He didn't want no smoke with that. So he's real selective who he want to give that smoke to.
Right.
He only bullies on people he can bully on.
That makes sense.
Hey, I mean,
you remember the beginning of his first couple seasons, he wasn't on that rah-rah stuff. There was still some old heads in there that's about that action. They don't care about no suspension.
Oh yeah. Zach Randolph and
he ain't doing that with no big Zach Randolph. Nah. You don't want that.
Speaking of Zebo, I mean, I remember him telling Boogie at the free throw line, where I'm from, bullies get bullied. So I mean, that was the mentality back then. So yeah, Draymond wasn't doing that dumb stuff when he first got in the league.
He ain't doing that.
Right. This is facts. Yeah. Choking out
Choking out the Australian man. Come on, man.
Rudy Gobert, man. The French brother, Rudy Gobert, man. And so my point is that no disrespect to the French culture, but they not as rowdy and violent as Americans. They're not. They're just not. I live in a French territory. They're very good people. And so, him choking out Rudy Gobert really for me was like a laughter because Rudy Gobert is not the type to, even really throw hands. He ain't got no hands. And so him choking. and him choking him out, it was just like, could he be very selective, fellas, on who he pick on? He see the moment, and he take the action to make himself look like he this or he that. And so, yeah, man.
There's only
Shout out to
one more time till you get Suge Knight.
Oh yeah, this is facts, man. Somebody, you keep pushing that around, somebody gonna serve you that business for sure. And so, yeah, absolutely, man. And shout out to Noah Lyles too. The World Championship comment, man. Where KD and a whole bunch of NBA players got down on the kid, man. Yeah. And so, lastly, fellas, who is your best athlete of 2023? And so we had a number of great athletes in 2023 that performed well. Cats include Sha'Carri Richardson, U.S. Olympic women's sprinter. Big, huge implications coming up in the Olympics in Paris next year. And so Sha'Carri Richardson, Lionel Messi for what he did with Miami, Shohei Ohtani for what he did. He was granted the MVP for baseball. And if I'm not mistaken, Jamar, he was one of the first, I think he was the only first unanimous. It was unanimous. It was unanimous across the board. So Shohei Ohtani, but this is a hard category. Simone Biles. Did y'all see what that girl did this year? I could have put the guy from the Edmonton Oilers in here too. Novak Djokovic. The only matchup he lost was in the final, in the 5th set. And then LeBron James, his scoring title, etc., what he's doing at his age. And so, Jamal, I'll let you solve this. Who you got for athlete of the year?
I mean, definitely want to give a shout out to Simone Biles. I mean, yeah, like you mentioned, bro, what she's doing in her sport is unheard of.
It is. So people ain't talking about it though
at all. But I definitely want to give her recognition here. But the winner for me is Shohei, bro. I mean, Rod mentioned it earlier. I mean, what can't he do at this point, right? It's the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, he was, leading the league in strikeouts and home runs at one point in time in the AL, if I'm not mistaken. I'm glad that he, ended up leaving LA and going down the street to the Dodgers, because at least I want to see what he can do in the playoffs. I want to see some playoff Ohtani per se. But yeah, the man is spectacular. We have never seen anything like it. I know the last person was Babe Ruth, but that was in a whole different era. So this here he is a true definition of a unicorn for real. And so I know greatness, comes, every so often, and I know we sometimes take it for granted, but this is one of those that you just gotta just enjoy every moment that you can, because we're not going to see anything like this. So that's my pick.
Yeah. Rod, my brother, who was the best athlete for you in 20? Sha'Carri Richardson, Lionel Messi, Shohei, Simone, Novak Djokovic, LeBron.
I gotta say this, man. If the major league scouts don't see this right now, man, if I was them, I'm going to Japan right now, man. And I'm looking at all the prospect, and I'm getting them in contracts right now, because it's crazy that they had to stay there so long. Ohtani stayed in Japan a long time before he came to the States to play. But I think, man, that man is one of one, man. And I like what Messi did too, man, because he's up there in the age, man. A lot of people don't understand he's up there in the age. Yep. And I told people this because I got people in England, right? And we talk about soccer all the time, my aunt and my cousins and stuff like that. Our soccer leagues out here is so easy for them top guys, man.
Come on.
They come over here. It'll look like record. It's like taking somebody out of Record Park and putting them in the NBA, man.
Right.
It's completely different, you know what I mean, conditioning wise. And it's unfair, man. Messi been in his contract where he's getting some of the tickets, he's getting his jersey sales, he's cleaning up, man. And after he's done, he get a piece of that ownership.
Yep.
Beckham already lined him up. So I think, man, what he was doing, man, for that little small club was legendary.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's
And
facts, bro.
that's that. Thank you for pointing out, Rob. All of that. Huge, bro. Like absolutely huge. To see what he doing in age, and it just shows y'all fellas, right, that it's levels to it when it comes to soccer. United States got some ways to go, and you go over these seas, man.
Never
These guys,
catch up, man.
right? They live this soccer. They live that thing. They live it like we live hooping or something. Like they live it. And so, yeah, I just want to give a shout out, y'all, to Sha'Carri Richardson, man. To see her come back, fellas, if y'all remember after her suspension, right? And her being suspended and her to come and do what she did against Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, one of the best sprinters in the world, to do against her fellow, her to battle against those Jamaican women whom are predecessors of Usain Bolt. And Jamaica don't play when it comes to this sprint. They don't play when it comes to track and field. Though they are fierce rivals, the United States and Jamaica, right, fellas? Like they are rivals. And to see what Sha'Carri Richardson is doing and say, hey, United States, we on the map. This is ours. We here to stay. We here to stay. And her holding that down for us when Jamaica's right on her neck, saying this is us. This is ours. And so to see what she's did and having a great year, running the 100, that's being the top sprinter in the world, top 200 in the world, until she recently lost to the girl from Jamaica. And to see her dominating in just those two areas, it's pretty cool to see, man. So I definitely want to shout out Sha'Carri Richardson. Shout out to Lionel Shohei, definitely Simone Biles. Djokovic, man, you had a fantastic year. I mean, it was almost a year of perfection. And so definitely want to highlight Djokovic and his great run and what he did in tennis. And so lastly, fellas, I want to give you guys the opportunity to just, state whatever moment you thought was a great moment for you to see in the year of sports this year. Anything. And so hence for me, fellas, it was great for me to see Black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl for the first time. And so just curious with you guys, you got anything that stood out for you in the sports world this moment that you just want to highlight? So Jamar, we go with you.
Yeah, so I just want to, the one thing that really stuck out to me was more so the run of Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. Just watching him like single-handedly just go on this berserk tear to where he's literally putting the team on his back, to where he took advantage of I guess Giannis being hurt and taking, basically took Milwaukee out, made Drew Holiday look like a pedestrian out there, got them out the first round, went to New York and just like destroyed all of them. The Boston series, even though at some point he was starting to run out of gas, but he still had enough with the emergence of Martin and Gabe Vincent and Strus and all them guys started to come about. Just basically just watching Jimmy doing his thing, getting the best out of his teammates, making it to the finals. Because, a couple of years ago when they did in the bubble, we were like, okay, that's a fluke, it's just a bubble. But to see it happen again, like this man, like single-handedly, like just raised his Hall of Fame status just in a matter of a few playoff series in one playoff period. So just watching that for me, because he's not the most gifted or the most talented, but that man has legendary work ethic. That man is not scared of anybody. It's like just watching like one of us just getting real hot with a willpower and determination, just going out there and giving buckets day in day out and can't be stopped idea. It's just that part. So like just seeing that for me, that really stuck out for real.
Absolutely. Yeah. My brother Rod, what stood out for you, man, in 2023?
I gotta say this because I'm petty, man. Aaron Rodgers going out, man. I loved it because I deal with a lot of delusional Jet fans, man.
Okay.
I deal with a lot of delusional Jet fans, and I tell them every time. We kept the lights on the AFC East, man. Nobody thinking about you, Otis. Nobody thinking about the Jets, man. Like I gotta keep it real, man. The Jets get on my nerves, man. They had, oh man, we got a Super Bowl contender championship defense. We got this. We got Garrett Wilson. We got Sauce. I said every time Sauce get out there, you got no Sauce. When the last time you seen Sauce get a pick? I'm sorry, they already put him above Darrelle Revis in their heads, man. The man is still young, man. He still got to earn the stripes. Oh man, he's already better than Darrelle was in the rookie.
No, they tripping.
So I'm glad that happened to him, man. I'm glad it happened to him because the Jets are just crazy, man. They're just crazy. And I gotta say the Bills too, man. My Patriots being the Bills, the first one at home. You know, I won a couple dollars off it. Yes, I gamble sometimes. Don't judge me. But
it's all right, brother.
You know what I mean? So
you do it too.
So them two things right there, man. Also, Dion beating TCU the first game, man. That was crazy. Did I win a little bit of cabbage off that? 21 points, give it to me. It was crazy, man, to witness that, man. For him, Shedeur to throw for 500 yards in a game.
Right.
And I gotta say this,
this came from the national championship?
This came from the national championship, man. So I gotta say this. Watch out for the Buffaloes in 2024.
Facts. Facts. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, definitely. And so, yeah, man. Yep. And so, with that being said, fellas, this includes our 2023 recap where we had the best athlete of the year, the dumbest moment of the year, best championship, most impressive individual accomplishment, and then our most memorable moment that stood out for us in 2023. And so there were so many moments that stood out in 2023. And so we thank you, Rod, man, for just rocking with us for that end of the podcast. And so now let's get into some NFL reactions and overreactions. Before we do, Jamar got something to say.
Last thing, can I just throw out one last thing that I just thought of for 2023?
Yes, sir, bro.
And it, I guess, perfect segue to this category here. Just watching old man Flacco coming out there, just rejuvenated the Cleveland Browns here without Deshaun Watson. He just came off the couch doing his thing, and now like the Browns look like a serious team out here. Like I wouldn't want to play them. I'm just not putting that out there.
For real. I wouldn't want to play them or the Bills. They both look dangerous, both of them. So yeah, this might be one of them years, fellas. And you know, like Rod, you know, we get a lot of Super Bowls, man, from these wild card teams. This might be another year, man, where we get one of these wild cards to, you know, just come in and go into everybody's stadium and, you know, have them quiet the whole game. And so this might be one of them years, man. And so let us now move, fellas, to NFL reactions and overreactions. And so we'll go with you, Jamar, and then we'll follow up with you, Rod. Jamar, is it an overreaction to think that after this past weekend's win over the San Francisco 49ers on Christmas Day, that Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is now in first place and running for league MVP?
I wouldn't say it's an overreaction, but I personally think the MVP race is about as wide open as it can be. Do I feel like Lamar could be in first place right now? Sure, but I also feel like you still can make a case for Christian McCaffrey, still make a case for Tyreek Hill. I mean, this thing is definitely up in the air. But I guess for the moment, I wouldn't disagree with that one. That could change by Sunday, though.
It could, absolutely. It's a wide open MVP race. Yes. Same for you, Rod. You being from the DMV area, is it an overreaction to think that after yesterday's win over the San Francisco 49ers, that your hometown Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is now first place in the running for league MVP?
I don't know, man. I feel like Lamar is Lamar, right? Lamar is a great regular season quarterback, right? But we haven't seen him do it in the postseason. I think they should wait till after the postseason to give this award to. Like, I don't like a regular season MVP. Anybody can look good in one regular season games. But if you really look at that 49er game Was it really hard for Lamar to do that with 4 deflections, 4 picks? Can anybody really do that against 49ers? You get 4 interceptions, you should be able to score pretty easily, right?
Right. The defense helping you out. Yeah, you gonna get
he only threw for 20 yards.
Overreaction later.
He only threw for 20 yards. I mean, Joe Flacco just do that yesterday against the Jets.
Right.
Cleveland beat the 49ers. Come on, man. We can't keep on overreacting.
I see y'all point, definitely. And so that's why Jamar is stating that this is wide open, because his stats are really not all that impressive. He's riding a great all-time great defense, look like. That's helping him out, right?
They ain't the 2000 Ravens, though. I've been seeing people say, "Oh, this might be the 2000 Ravens."
That's a different animal.
That's a whole different animal. But they are solid as hell, though.
We ain't drinking Hennessy at 8 a.m. You know what I mean? So we gotta chill on that.
Yeah, we definitely gonna chill. We definitely gonna chill on that. And so, yes, fellas, let us now progress. And so, is it an overreaction to think that after this week's benching of Denver Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson for financial purposes, that the Broncos will be looking to move on come this offseason for financial purposes and for performance purposes? Jamar?
No, definitely not overreaction. I mean, actually, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I feel like the Denver Broncos are bogus for making this happen the way for all this, transpiring. The fact that we heard that after Russ, beat Kansas City for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era, they haven't beat Kansas City since Alex Smith was quarterback. They haven't. And for them to say after the game, like, hey, like redo your clause in your contract, or we're gonna bench you down the line. Like what are we really doing out here? Like, are you really trying to win? Like, apparently you have a vendetta against this man. So nah, man. I'm glad he's leaving.
Yeah, Rod.
I gotta say this, man. My team takes quarterbacks' careers away from them. I gotta say that, man. I am so happy every time. Look at Mike Trubisky. You look at Russell. When he lost to New England, they get benched. Like, I gotta say that, man. He was holding the ball too long. I knew it was gonna happen. Anytime you let a defensive tackle get 3 sacks on him and on you, and he's not Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald, it's a problem. Right. Like, he got shell shot. He's like somebody got shot 9 times. And we hear popcorn popping. He's jumping. 50 like you got to say what it is. His performance is not matching that contract. And that's what they do. They do that to everybody.
Yeah. His performance last year wasn't great, right, fellas? And then he come back and he has a pretty solid performance, right? And it just all changed, Jamar. Like, literally you ever remember that song, fellas? It was all good just a week ago with Jay-Z and Beanie Sigel. It was all good
right.
a week ago. Like, it was just all good just a few weeks ago, Jamar. We was talking about the Broncos being a potential wild card. Russell Wilson playing out his mind, looking like he was the old Russell Wilson from Seattle.
I mean that is true. I mean, I'll say that much. Yeah. But the fact that this started when they beat Kansas City, though,
right? That's the
part for me,
right?
And he still went out there and played the best of his ability. Now, maybe some of it he could have played better, absolutely, but he's not nowhere near as bad as he was last year at all.
Right? Yeah. Yep.
It's too late for him, man. I just think that contract, man. If he been a good old boy, took the pay cut, they've been all right, cool with him. But we gotta remember, Sean Payton just getting there, and this is not his kind of guy.
Right. You know what I mean? Sean Payton's a cold guy too. He's a cold type of guy too.
Oh man, he come from that tuna coaching tree. You know what Tuna used to say? Bill Parcells used to say to Phil Simms, Hofstadter. You know what I mean? Only person had a pass with him was LT. You know what I mean? LT did what he wanted, but he always had a hierarchy. Yeah. You look at them Saint teams. You know what I mean? Sean Payton he never seen him talk to Drew Brees like that. Go look at the files.
Ever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Drew
Yep.
Brees with that busted shoulder at the end of the career was still treating Drew the same.
Yep.
I mean, last thing I'll say about this, I mean, if I guess the Broncos should be, if they're gonna be mad at anybody, they should be mad at themselves, right? Because they the one that gave them the capital for Russ. They the one that gave him the contract, right? So, all in all, I mean, if you putting all your eggs in the basket with Sean Payton to turn this thing around, I just hope whoever the next person they bring in is better turn this thing around. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. That's my biggest question. Go ahead, Rod.
And we got to stop this, man. He is definitely Doc Rivers of the NFL, man. Like I'm tired of these retreads of one championship. Oh man, they're gonna bring a championship to me. Like, what did he do without Greg Williams? When them Saints had that Greg Williams defense, nobody want to play them. I'm telling you, people was using PTO. You know what I mean? To try to get out that game, man. Greg Williams was telling them players $50,000 for Brett Favre, $100,000 for, you know what I mean? You put a bounty, man. That defense was scary, man. I'm telling you, that defense was scary.
Right. And that's some good knowledge there, Rod. Greg Williams was that DC when they won that Super Bowl. Greg Williams was that DC when they went to the championship game against our Bears. When they were having their great runs, Greg Williams was around there, and so. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
That's facts.
That's a really good point. And so, yeah, man, definitely good information and very, very nice to see. And so, and we should have Rob back on with us shortly. Is it an overreaction to think that at this point of looking at the other teams in the NFC that are fighting for their division, etc., or the wild card, that the eventual NFC champion, in which we have, is it a three-way tie, Jamar, now between the Saints, Bucks, and Falcons? Think so. That the eventual NFC South champion, which could be decided today or definitely next week, is likely a first-round exit waiting to happen. Is that an overreaction to think that the NFC South champion, is likely a first-round exit waiting to happen?
All right, so I'm gonna say it's not an overreaction. Tampa Bay is 8-7. Atlanta New Orleans 7-8.
I knew somebody was 8-7. Thank you for that. And everybody else is 7-8, besides Carolina.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about them.
Right. They helped out though.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's not an overreaction, but I do give a puncher's chance to Tampa if they make the playoffs out one of those three, just because Baker's playing the best football of his career. But with all that being said, and I know that Baker does have a playoff win in his career, but
right,
I am to the point to where you got either Derek Carr, Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke, Baker Mayfield to a certain degree. They basically almost like that Spider-Man meme pointing to each other. They basically all the same person. So, and I'm not trusting. It's hard for me to trust any one of them in the playoff game. Period. So yeah, unless they just happen to play a team that's pretty banged up as it comes to the playoffs, I cannot pick them. Whoever wins that division, I can't.
Right, NFC South champion. Yeah. Yep. Good morning, Parisa. Good morning. And so she said, "Good morning, brothers. Very interesting conversation. I don't know a lot about football, but I'm loving the thoughts." Yes. And good morning, Nadia Barad. Good morning. We had Nadia on. She's an overseas young lady, Rod, and she's from St. Martin, which is not too far from Virgin Islands. And she came on with us, you remember, Jamar. She talked about the World Cup. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And so good morning, Victor. Good morning, and Happy New Year to you all, by the way. And so, yes, my brother Rod, is it an overreaction to think that at this point of looking at the other teams in the NFC, that the eventual NFC South champion is likely a first-round exit waiting to happen?
No, it's not an overreaction because you got Baker Mayfield, man.
Okay.
First and foremost.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it right there, man. It's a Hallmark channel, so I'm gonna leave that right there, man.
All right, man. You're hilarious, my brother. All right. We're going to leave it at that. And so, yes. Next, fellas, let's progress. Jamar, is it an overreaction to think that at this point of looking at the other teams in the AFC, that the winner of the AFC South division, which would be between the Colts, the Jaguars, or the Texans, and we looking at the wild card right now, we got the Bills, the Browns, etc., that the AFC South champion is likely a first round exit to happen?
No, I'm gonna say this is overreaction to a certain degree, because as long as if it's gonna be the Jags or the Texans, and as long as CJ Stroud and or Trevor Lawrence is healthy, I give them a chance. I really do. I mean, heck, we saw what Trevor did to Brandon Staley's Chargers last year. We saw that happen. We saw the greatness of CJ Stroud this year when he's healthy. And granted, there's no Tank Dell, but Nico Collins is still that man. I know that for a fact. And that defense is playing really well. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's an overreaction if one of those two teams are winners and they're healthy. I think.
Okay. Interesting. Right. Okay. Interesting. All right. So, Rod, your thoughts? Is it an overreaction to think that the AFC South champion, which could be right now, it's a tie between the Colts, Texans, Jaguars, that they are likely a first round exit waiting to happen? Because we got the Browns as a wild card, we got the Buffalo Bills, possibly the Steelers. Not the Steelers. I mean, nobody cares about the Steelers right now. They look abysmal, but they got their quarterback back and they look like a complete team. They blew out the Bengals last week, but anyhow, just curious that the eventual AFC South champion, are they likely a first round exit to happen? Is that an overreaction?
No, because Fabio's injured, man. Fabio's that throwing shoulder is bothering him, man. I think he's not really. He's one hit away, man. He's one hit away, like Jay-Z said. Memphis Bleak is one hit away, and and what you call Fabio is one hit away, man, from being done for the rest of the season. That offensive line been terrible all season. ETN really hasn't got busy like that. Christian Kirk been having flashes. What's that boy I call him? DraftKings been playing all right.
Calvin.
DraftKings been doing all right. He's trying to get his money back.
So I appreciate this DraftKings.
So he's trying to get his money back. So I can't be mad with him. You know what I mean? He sit down for 16 games. So I can't be mad at him. He's been balling out a little bit. So, but that offensive line been terrible, man. I think they close to y'all, man. I think they got the Bears offensive line, man. I'm not to throw no shots at y'all, man. But the offensive line is terrible, man.
Hey, our line has played a lot better in recent weeks. I can name a lot of worse offensive lines in the league than ours. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Overall, man, overall for this season, we have not had the best of anything in Chicago with the Bears. But, man, you are totally right. That offensive line has been abysmal for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's part of the reason why your boy Fabio, a.k.a. Sunshine from the Tennessee Titans movie, is one hit away from being done from the season.
Yeah, definitely, man. I've been talking to. I got a lot of Chicago Bear fans on my Facebook, and they tell me the best thing about the game is the glizzies and the pizza, man.
That pizza at Soldier Field do be smacking.
It do though. I always get that sausage.
Hey, I was freezing last year watching them play the Eagles, dog. But that pizza was good, though.
Man, absolutely. Yeah, man. You bring me back to memories, man, Jamar. Before I left in 2021, I watched the Giants. Remember that game I told you about, Jamar? It was the Giants, and the Bears dominated that game. But guess what held me down? That pizza and that hot chocolate, boy. And so thank you for shouting out that pizza, because that's true, man. Victor Young got nothing to do with his morning. Might as well eat good while you're there. And so in other words, yeah, man, he's talking about if you had a Bears game, you might as well eat good because you ain't gonna be winning much. And so,
Hey fellas, I gotta get my charger from my computer real quick.
Okay, all right, take the time, bro. And so, lastly, on the other hand, and Victor, you on with us, bro? Chop it up with us. Lastly, is it an overreaction, Jamar, to think that after again another fantastic outing from the Baltimore Ravens defense versus the San Francisco 49ers, that the Baltimore Ravens actually should be included in the ballot for the 2023 MVP award?
Not an overreaction. We can include the Ravens defense. We can include Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniels for the award. Heck, we can include the Roger Goodell himself. Might as well. Throw everybody out there. We don't know who's MVP, but have some fun with it.
Right. And so Rod, you was talking about the defense earlier, man, for the Baltimore Ravens. And so oddly enough, lastly, is it an overreaction to think that after again a fantastic outing from the Baltimore Ravens defense versus the San Francisco 49ers, that the Baltimore Ravens defense should be included in the ballot for the 2023 MVP award?
Come on, man. We got to stop this, man. we got to stop this, man. This one-hit wonder stuff, man. We got to stop this, man. We got to stop this, man. Nobody want to see Cassie sing, man. You know what I mean? Nobody want to see that tour. But we got to stop this, man. Like it's a complete overreaction, man.
Yeah.
Where was this defense against Cleveland, man? Where was this defense against the Steelers?
Okay. All right. Okay.
We gonna see on Sunday when they got them Dolphins. I'm telling you, them Dolphins have been smacking people in the lips, man.
Yeah,
them fans been smacking people in the mouth, man. So we gonna see Sunday. Are you gonna hold Tua to 82 yards and 4 picks? I want to see that.
Right. Man, it's just so crazy, man, to think that we've been blessed, Jamar, to like have a huge football game every weekend with top teams. That's just dawning on me. And so we're going to get into the NFL picks shortly because the Ravens are going up against the Dolphins. And so
they got a U.S. track team, though.
Right. Yeah, they definitely got a track team down there in Miami. And so, just an FYI, generally, Rod, the last overreaction on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is just the overreaction that generally make you laugh. And so that was the whole point behind it. And so, as Jamar, you stated, man, we might as well throw coaches of the years in there, such as the coach you mentioned, and the Baltimore Ravens defense and whoever else. And so that is a wide open award. And the Baltimore Ravens defense has showed out, like you stated. And so is it really legit to put Lamar there as an MVP candidate because he's riding a great defense? And so, yes, with that being said, fellas, we're going to see in the next 2 weeks who comes out with that MVP award. Not who comes out with it, but be, rumored as that top person. All right. And so we will now get into our NFL Week 17 picks. We have a lot of great games coming up this weekend. And so, fellas, looking forward to your picks. We got some big games going on. And so, Jamar, we're going to start with you. And from there, we're going to follow up with you, Rod. And so this weekend, huge wild card implications, huge division implications. We got things riding for home field advantage. And so let's start with a battle for home field advantage. Actually, tonight, fellas. Tonight, the Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions. And so I'm just curious to know if, Jamar, if you could let me know, are they in Dallas or are they in Detroit?
Dallas.
Okay. All right. They in Dallas. Yep, you are right. And so with that being said, who you got, bro? Lions or Cowboys?
I'm going to give I guess I give the slightest edges to the Cowboys on this one.
Being at home. Okay. Rod.
I'm going with the Lions because they can actually run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They can actually run the ball. They got a nice little tight end, Laporta. I think they could. You can tack this Dallas defense with a good tight end because they can't cover tight ends at all.
Interesting. Yeah. For me, I'm gonna go with Detroit as well. I think Detroit comes in and do something special, man. And shout out to this Gibbs kid, man. Detroit can run the ball. But this Gibbs kid, people was questioning him, right? Jamar coming out of Alabama last year. Oh, he not strong. He not this. He not that. That boy explosive. That boy real explosive. He looking like an Alvin Kamara 2.0 out there.
Yes, he is.
Yep. And Victor Young, good morning, bro. But Victor Young, he even it up, Jamar. He got the Cowboys. I can see why. I mean, I'm looking forward to that one tonight. Saints, Buccaneers, huge NFC South implications here, fellas. Huge. And so, with that being said, Jamar, they are in Tampa tomorrow. And so, who do you got for this one, the Saints or Bucks?
I guess I trust Baker more than I trust Derek Carr. I can't trust Derek Carr at all. Baker's, like I mentioned earlier, playing probably the best football of his career. I'm taking the Bucks, man.
Okay. Yeah. Rod.
I can't go with, he's turning into his brother now, David. So I gotta go with the Bucks, man.
Guys, I understand y'all point here, but I'm going with the Saints. I got the Saints. I think this is gonna be a good game here, man. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, who's low key y'all having one of his best years, y'all. Every week, Jamar, we sit here and every week I'm mentioning Mike Evans. If Mike Evans have a good game, the Bucks will win. I think he do have a good game, but I just think Saints got some weapons low key, man. And if them weapons are used properly, which it depends, if they're used properly, I think that turns out to be a great game. I got the Saints. The Dolphins, y'all. Ravens. Who you got for this one, Jamar?
Man, I ain't trying to be biased here because I do watch Hard Knocks, but no, that Dolphins team, I think they come in and I don't think Baltimore has seen a weapon like Tyreek Hill this year. And I think even though Waddle's not playing, I think him and Chan and Mostert and whomever else they throw out there, like Rod said, they are a track team. I don't think Baltimore's seen nothing like that. So I'm going Miami.
Okay. So you think they finally get that big win, Miami? Because they always lose against good teams.
I mean, they beat Dallas last week. You could take that how you want it.
Okay. Rod.
I'm going with the guy that got more kids than DMX. I think Cheetah is going to put some crazy work on him. You know what I mean? I am really worried about these DBs, man. Okay. They might have to file a police report in Miami after this game.
Wow. Okay, so you saying that they finna go on Baltimore and give them the business?
Oh yeah, they're gonna. I'm telling you, the Baltimore City Police gonna have to be in the stadium by at least by the third quarter.
Okay. Oof. Okay. What? Good morning, Simon. Good morning, bro. Yeah, man, it's interesting. I got the Ravens at home. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Y'all acting like the Ravens ain't the best team in football. Y'all acting like the Ravens don't shut down great offenses. They just shut down San Francisco. They just got 4 picks on Brock Purdy.
And they just got they was a punt return away from losing against the Rams a couple of weeks ago in Baltimore.
Yeah, but the Rams are coming. The Rams low key kind of explosive too, Jamar. They got a nice little offense out there too in LA. Yeah, and so I got the Ravens at home. I mean, they are the best team in football. And definitely according to the rankings out there, they number 1. So for that reason, I can't pick against the Ravens. I got the Ravens. The Rams at the Giants. Is this a Cancun, y'all?
Yes. Cancun.
Okay. Cancun on 3, just an FYI, Rod, is when we all unanimously pick the same team. And so I don't know if you plan to go with the Giants tomorrow.
Nah, that's not happening. So
okay, yes.
I take the Cancun trip.
Okay, cool. And so yeah, we got the Rams. I think the Rams pull out a close one. I think the Giants give them go because y'all the Giants do got the weather on their side, but I think the Rams pull it out. The Raiders, y'all, versus the Colts. Big game for both teams. Shout out to Antonio Pierce for turning this franchise around, using Purdue quarterback Jamar Aiden O'Connell. And now the Raiders 7-8. You know, they believe in, man. They got some good wins. And, you know, right now they try to, you know, right that ship to where, you know, he can be the head coach of this team going to next year. The Colts, on the other hand, they got AFC South implications on the line. So, Jamar, who you got for this one?
Hey, man, if owner Davis don't hurry up and take the interim tag off this man, I don't know.
I'm telling you, right? But
yeah, I'm taking the Raiders. Like, that defense, ever since he took over, that defense has been playing pretty darn good, and they look like they have an identity out here. They're playing better football right now, and they technically still have a chance to get the wild card. So they got something to play for. I got the Raiders.
Absolutely got something to play for, yeah. On the other hand, Rod, who you got, bro? Raiders Colts.
You know I'm not going with no Uncle Rico. You know I'm not going with Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
I'm going with the Raiders, man. I'm going with the Raiders on that.
Right. All right. So, yeah, in this case, fellas,
Vic picking the Raiders.
No, I'm not. No, I'm picking the Colts at home. And so the Colts, I just think those two receivers, man, Jonathan Taylor, the Colts defense low-key has been pretty solid this year too. The only reason why I'm picking the Colts is because the Colts are at home. I think the Colts maybe force Aiden O'Connell to be the big implication in this game. And do I trust Aiden O'Connell over Gardner Minshew? No, I don't. And so I'm going to pick the Colts, fellas. Patriots versus the Bills. Your Patriots, Rod. Yeah, man, your Patriots has had a long season, my brother, a long season. So I don't know if they go in and tank tomorrow or what. Or if they go in with that Bill Belichick pride and get the win. But I was going to propose a Cancun, but I know you're a Patriots fan. So, Jamar, I'm going to go with you first. Who you got, bro?
Bills Mafia.
Okay. Rod?
I'm going to say this. I think my Patriots going to cover, but I don't think they're going to win.
Okay.
I think they got them winning by like 13 points or something crazy. I'm going to take my Patriots to cover.
That's wild.
But I don't think they're going to win this game.
Right.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah, they got him blowing them out. Yeah. On the other hand, Victor Young stated Colts can't win at home. Suck on third down, got to be worse in the league on third and long and fourth down. And so thanks for that info, Victor. Got me want to change my pick, but I'm going to stick with it. On the other hand, Patriots beat the Bills already. Oh, yeah, they beat the Bills already. And so... Yeah, this is the reason why Jamar, you know, at his first part of the season, he just said, I'm done with the Bills.
Until they fired the offensive coordinator, and they just look different now.
Yeah, they look explosive. So I'm going to go with the Bills as well, fellas. So we all got a Cancun. We got the Bills. Titans, Texans. Davis Mills at quarterback still.
Nope.
Or is it CJ Stroud back?
CJ's back.
Uh-oh. Yeah. All right. CJ Stroud versus this new kid down in Nashville, former University of Tucker quarterback, Will Levis. Who you got, Jamar?
Man, Levis better put on some Levi's. It's gonna be a long day. Give me the Texans.
So you saying that Houston finna go down to the final week, Jamar, for the AFC South.
Exactly what I'm saying.
All right. Victor stated he got the Titans. And it was funny. We stated this, Jamar. It's crazy, bro. We stated this weeks back. We stated that Houston could end up coming down to the final 2 weeks of the season and that the pressure on CJ Stroud might build up as a rookie quarterback. Here we are. Rod, who you got?
I'm sorry. I can never take Will Levis, man. I seen what he looked like in Kentucky, man. It was terrible, man. I called him Mr. Glass.
Yeah,
man, you should have seen how many hits he was taking against Ole Miss. It was just disgusting. I thought it was Dante Wilder fighting somebody. It was crazy. But I gotta say, free my guy Derrick Henry, man, because he deserved better from an organization.
He does.
What he had to deal with, because they wasted his whole career. But I'm going with the Titans on this one. I think D-Hop and the Titans got like a low key okay defense, so I'm going with the Titans.
Titans have been playing actually better football as of late than the Texans. They have, but I'm gonna go with the Texans at home. Cardinals, Eagles. Is this a Cancun on 3, fellas, or the? Not. Oh, hold up. No, the Eagles ain't been all that impressive, y'all. They was fighting with the Giants last week at home, and so Kyler Murray, he might just want to go and spoil something. So, who you got for this one, Jamar?
The Eagles.
Okay. This is true. You kind of think about it. All I was just saying was to build up the Eagles, because at the end of the day, we just saw what happened last week in Chicago. The Cardinals kind of look like some little baby birds when they go to these cold weather cities. They were like, I ain't used to all this.
Dude, I kid you not. If the Cardinals go all the way to Lincoln Financial Field and beat the Eagles with YMCA, Walmart, and Payless employees at wide receiver, then the Eagles need to cancel the rest of the season. I'm not even joking. They don't have Hollywood Brown. He went on IR. So I don't even know who he's throwing the ball to besides these people. Greg Dortch, Wilson, Rondale Moore. Like, no, stop it.
Okay. And thanks for that info, by the way, bro. Rod, who you got?
I'm going with the Cardinals, man. I don't have no faith in these Eagles, man. Anytime you choke out a game against the Giants, it is what it is. You can't even beat the Giants.
Yeah, they had to literally escape for that win last week. I'm like, come on, Eagles. The crowd was just like, the crowd was nervous. The crowd was booing at half. I mean, they were like all on the Eagles. Like, it was crazy to see. Like, they like, get this together. And so it might be the same environment. Boy, I tell you what, Rod, Cardinals going to Lincoln Financial Field, win that game come Monday. I cannot wait to hear what people got to say. Oh, they're going to ride the Eagles. They're going to ride them. They're going to ride them. So
Brian Johnson can't call a game, though. Brian Johnson can't call offensive play call good. So
and the defensive, I mean, Matt Patricia, he's never been all the Patriots coaches ain't nothing outside of when they leave New England. And so Matt Patricia's
no, that's not true. Brian Flores.
Right, so Brian Flores, okay, but outside of that, who? Right.
That's it.
And so yeah, like Matt Patricia, he's there. And when I saw him there on the side, I'm like, oh, it makes sense why the Eagles struggling.
Oh, I forgot. I also forgot Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll.
Yeah, he had one nice season.
No, yeah. I respect Daboll. I mean, he made the most out of Daniel Jones last year.
Yeah. Right, he had a nice season last year.
Got him paid, took Saquon's money, but that's a whole nother story.
Show did get we call that a highway robbery, man. We call that Danny Crimes, man. Like, and that stands for Wall Street crimes, being in this New York, you know what I'm saying, Rod? You know what I'm saying? And you got the Wall Street robbery that occurred with the New York Giants. And so it's rumored that our brother Daniel Jones got a penthouse in the Empire State Building on the top floor with that $17 million salary that he getting for sitting on the bench. And so definitely Mr. Danny Crimes up there in New York, and committing all crap type of crimes. And so, yeah, with that being said, fellas, let's not progress with the Panthers and Jaguars. Jaguars are not playing the best as of late either. This is another team that's been on a decline, which is why this division is wide open now. We came into the season, y'all, thinking as well as you, Rod, that the Jaguars, they were going to be the tenants for the AFC South for years to come. And now with the progression of C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson down in Indianapolis, we could very well be looking at a very tough division for years to come with 3 great quarterbacks. Another one in Tennessee now who is a rookie. And so with that being said, Panthers, rookie quarterback, Jaguars. Who you guys got? Do the Panthers go in and continue this misery for the Jaguars, or do the Jaguars pick themselves up and rebound? Who you got, Jamar?
Oh, boy. And Fabio ain't playing, so.
Oh, wow. He not even playing. Ooh, that's a hard one.
insert CJ Beathard or whatever you want to call him. You know what? Screw it.
Got the Panthers.
If Ian was here, I'll tell him hashtag keep pounding. Screw it. I got Carolina.
Wow. Okay, Rod, who you got?
I'm going with the Panthers.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna go with the Jags at home, fellas. Yeah. I'm going with the Jags at home. I think the Jags pull it out. They better pull it out. I mean, if they want to be the tennis that we thought they'd be. If they lose this game, Jamar, like you are predicting, then guess what? If the Texans win or the Colts win, we're going to be first place in the driver's seat for the AFC South. And who would have imagined, Jamar, if the Colts win, for example, that they'll be hosting the playoff? Like, it'll be crazy. And so, Falcons, Bears, NFC South, big game for the Falcons. But they are in Chicago with us tomorrow. Who you got, Jamar?
Imagine being the Atlanta Falcons with all this talent, and you're running your offense through Kendrick Perkins and Tony Allen. Just think about that.
Why you? I didn't even have a drink yet, man. Come on, man. With these crazy takes, man.
I'm just saying that's like they get all this talent, they don't even utilize it. With that being said, I'm taking my team all day, every day, and twice on Sundays against this matchup. Give my Bears.
Yeah. Rod, who you got?
Because I'm hoping Justin Fields come to New England and y'all go do something crazy and draft a quarterback.
Nah.
So,
No.
Nah.
I'm gonna go with the Bears too, man. I can't trust nobody named Ritter. You know what I mean? It don't even sound great to me, man. He's I'm sorry to say he's definitely a trash use. He's not a great quarterback at all. They might as well put Heineken in.
Okay, yeah. Victor Young got nothing to do with his life. Every time something is said about the Bears, he always got to throw his 3 cents in. Got 3 great number ones in 3 straight years and used none of them. So he's talking about the Bears. And so with that being said, I got the Bears. This is an advantage. You know, when you're trying to win games, this is a good time to win games this time of the year when you got these warm weather teams coming in. And so, yeah, Bears, you got to take, get rid of them. That's Falcons. So, Victor, do you got the Falcons? I got the Bears at home. I think the Bears could possibly beat the brakes off the Falcons tomorrow. Beat the hell out of them, literally. So, on the other hand, speaking of beat the hell out of, Jamar, 49ers, Commanders. Who you got for this one?
Cancun, bro.
All right, yeah, Cancun. Rod, who you got? You got the 49ers too, right?
I don't want to touch it like Kanye don't want to touch Kim, so I don't want to touch this game.
Okay. All right, and so, by the way, Victor got the Bears, and so, yes, Victor, I know you got the Niners, right? And so, with that being said, I think it's a Cancun. We all got the Niners. Steelers, Seahawks. This is a big one, fellas. Both of these teams, whoever lose out of the playoff contention, whoever lose, and whoever win, put themselves in a good place for playoff position as a wild card. Lamar, who you got for this one?
Man, if Mason Tom Brady Rudolph shows up again, then maybe just maybe because that man had a
he had an out last week against the Bengals, didn't he?
Like where has this been all year? All career for him. I'm just saying. This one's tough. I don't have the warm and fuzzies at all. I'm taking Seattle, but I can definitely see Steelers pulling out this win, especially if Mason Rudolph played the way he did last week. Jeez.
Okay. So you got the Steelers.
I got the Seahawks. I just don't.
You got the Steelers. Okay, you got Seahawks. Okay. Yeah. All right. And so, Rod, who you got?
I got DK stand on business Metcalf. You know what I mean? I think that's going to be barbecue chicken. I think it might be go to corral, man, against them DBs against DK.
Okay, yeah.
I don't care if Geno's not playing.
Yeah, Geno playing.
Well, Geno's playing, yeah. So, yeah, this is a tough game. This is a tough game. But then again, is it really tough? Who has the best players? who is the best player we could say is DK Metcalf. But I really like Pickens, y'all. I really like George Pickens for Steelers. He is low-key becoming a Pro Bowl type player, Jamar. He's their go-to guy. And he is playing really good football. And I'm proud to see Frisman Jackson, former Morgan Park Mustang, as this wide receivers coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers, leading this kid to be a great wide receiver. But I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks because they are at home. But Geno, if you come out and have a bad game, you will, it depends on Geno. If Geno go out and be the old Geno, it all depends, Geno could throw them picks too,
Hey, they can, they can lose and then in the offseason, trade for our number one pick for some stuff. They need a quarterback after this. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's a lot riding on that game for both of them franchises for real. Bengals, Chiefs. Who you got, Jamar? And don't you just easily say the Chiefs?
I know. That's why. Yeah,
right.
I know. That's why I haven't really said anything yet. But I'm gonna have to take Kansas City. I'm hoping. I'm wishing. Right. My gosh, I mean his wide receivers his own enemies, man. So I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, I'm taking Kansas City. Take Kansas.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
I'm sorry. I'm going to Kansas City. I'm going to Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. I'm gonna go with Kansas City, but I think it'll be a good game. Just because Kansas City, they haven't really taken care of business the way they're supposed to this year. They've lost a lot of games they should have won.
I have reports that saying Swift is not going to be at the game. He's going to actually play good.
Oh, I need it for my fantasy team. I need it.
Yeah, and FYI, Vic. So Cincy is not at home. They're at Arrowhead tomorrow, and so they're at Arrowhead tomorrow. And so, I don't know if that maybe change your pick, but yeah, I got the Chiefs too, fellas. Chargers, Broncos. Is this a Cancun or no? It's not because Justin Herbert ain't playing tomorrow, is he, Jamar?
No, he's out for the season.
Yeah, he's done. They got Stick at quarterback. His last name is
that's
Stick.
Right, Stick. So it's Stick versus who?
Jarrett Stidham.
Oh, Jarrett Stidham. For that. And
so Stidham.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah, so there's also no Keenan Allen either. I think there's also missing some people on that defense.
He's underrated.
Ugly. Yeah. Just ugly as game. Yeah. Ugly.
I might have to, but there's no Cortland Sutton either. He's out with a concussion. It's
a tie.
This is just an abysmal, bro. But give me Denver almost by default. But that Stick guy, he's okay. But give me Denver at home.
Okay. Yeah, Rod, who you got? You got to pick somebody, man, unless they tie.
I'm going with Denver all day, man. I think they bench. I think they bench Russell. Stidham is a gunslinger. He's gonna listen to Sean Payton. I got Denver edging this one out. I want to know if Sutton's playing because that's gonna be a major piece. If Sutton's not playing,
he's done.
He's out. I'm still going with Denver though. Maybe Judy can have a good game. I don't know.
Hopefully. Steve Smith gonna have a lot to say about that fool.
And so yeah, man, what an ugly game. I'm gonna go with Denver at home too. Good morning, Tiana. Good morning, Quentin. And so Victor Young stated Denver will lose the battle of trying to lose the best. And so, yeah. And so in other words, are you stating that you're going with the Chargers?
The Broncos.
Okay, Denver will lose the battle of trying to lose the best. Okay. So, all right. Yeah. What an ugly game. And just sad to see. And so, yeah, Denver. All right. Who you got, Tiana? Who you got? Denver, the Chargers. No, neither one of them got their quarterbacks playing. They both, there's a whole bunch of players not playing. It's just like a junior varsity game. Kind of reminds you of Ohio State versus Missouri. Like, no starting quarterbacks, no nothing. Transfer portal just messed up everything in college football. All right. On the other hand, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. Packers, the Vikings. So the Packers, they fighting for a wild card position as well as the Vikings. Somebody gonna get their feelings hurt tomorrow, right, Jamar? Because at the end of the day, one of these teams gonna lose and their season gonna be done. I was questioning, bro, like why did they bench Joshua Dobbs? I felt like he was playing decent football. He was playing way better football than this quarterback they got in now. Like, I don't get why they just benched him out of nowhere.
Wait, what do you mean out of nowhere? Man, they lost the game 3-0.
I know, but you know, even he wasn't doing good offensively, but sometimes you can at least they weren't getting blew out 45-0. At least he wasn't throwing picks. They were in the game. And so I just felt he deserved to get another shot.
I mean, for what it's worth, they benched Mullins as well. So neither one of them are playing tomorrow.
Right. I mean, the Vikings they benching every damn body. Who else they gonna bench? They gonna bench Kirk Cousins next year too.
Hey, the tight end out too. The tight end out too. I thought he out for like a season, right?
Yep, Hawkinson's done.
Yeah, it's bad out there.
At quarterback, you got Jaren Hall starting tomorrow.
Jaren Hall.
Ain't he from like Texas A&M or something like that, or a small Mississippi State or something? He's a rookie, I think.
Yeah, he's a rookie. Jaren Hall. He is from BYU.
Oh man, I don't trust no BYU quarterbacks unless it's Steve Young. You know
Me
what
neither,
I mean?
man. I got the Packers. I don't even like mentioning their name. The Packers. You realize how much that hurt me? Do you realize how much that hurt me, Rod, as a Bears fan, to mention the Packers on my last show going into the new year?
That's pretty deep, man. This kind of is like me saying my baby mom's name, so I feel you.
Bruh.
That's like saying Beetlejuice like 3 times. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Or Candy.
Right, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's rough. It's rough to say the name, man. It's rough, man. And here I am. I gotta say the Packers because I mean, based off of what we just heard with the Vikings, like you gotta go with Jordan Love. I mean, you know, like
you can. I'm still not picking him. I'm not picking him.
But Alexander's out for the season too. I think they suspended him. So
he got suspended for the coin toss last week, being an idiot.
So he's out. He's out for that game. So it's gonna be Simone's husband playing too. I like that boy's game, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. He's a hard hitter.
He can hit, can't he? Jonathan, yeah, he can hit.
Jonathan Owens be hitting, man.
Yeah, he can hit.
Headache game.
Yeah.
Give me the hall pass, bro. Because it's basically I'm gonna choose the fact that there's really no film on him at all, so it's an unknown type deal. I'm taking the hall pass.
I'm taking Minnesota, man.
Okay.
I'm taking Minnesota, man.
All right. Yep. Yeah. And so Jamar, you got Minnesota. Rod, you got Minnesota. Tiana, you got the Pack. I got the Pack. And so Victor, let us know who you got, bro. And so, yeah, what a show, man. What a fantastic show. What a ball. Like, man, Rod, we definitely got to have you on again, bro. And, you know, just a rewind of the year. You know, we started off the show, man, talking about everything that happened within 2023. You know, 2023 recap, most memorable moment, most of individual accomplishment, and highlight, you know, the best championship, the dumbest moment, the best athlete of the year. We've talked about everything, man, that has literally been big in sports for 2023. And so, yeah, with that being said, fellas, let's now do our final thoughts and shout outs. But I want to give you guys again, Rod, what was your best moment again for 2023?
Man, I don't even remember, man. What did I say? LeBron scoring the points, I think. That's what I think I did.
Okay, and Jamar, what was your best moment again for 2023?
I think within that category, I think it was the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, man. And so LeBron standing out, man. Sha'Carri Richardson having a great year. Messi, Shohei Ohtani. The comments, man. Ja Morant with the guns. Caleb Williams, ownership of the team, the Aces over the Liberty in the WNBA Finals, Angel Reese pointing the finger in the national championship, the Kansas City Chiefs overcoming that deficit, man, in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes being limped up throughout the playoffs, still getting it done, Georgia blowing out TCU, FSU missing the college football playoff and them suing the ACC, LeBron James all-time scoring record, Coco Gauff first Grand Slam title, John Bone Jones less than 2 minutes after a 3-year hiatus on the couch, Joe Flacco coming off the couch as well, leading the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs, man. Novak Djokovic dominating 2023, only losing one matchup, 7 ATP finals, one matchup when she lost in the final in that one. The Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid dominating hockey. DeMar Hamlin, thank God he turned out okay. His cardiac arrest. Brittany Griner returned to the WNBA after being detained for 294 days. Tom Brady stating a bye-bye from his wonderful, illustrious career. And our man, Coach Brian, over in Colorado, man, had the whole sports world buzzing when the Colorado Buffaloes did their thing over in Boulder. And so what a year it has been in 2023. And so with that being said, fellas, so we head into 2024. Any final thoughts or shout-outs? We head into 2024 and we head into the rest of this day today. Jamar, bro, any final thoughts or shout-outs?
Shout out to our guest, Rod, for joining us. Thank you for bringing your perspective. Thank you for, joining us this morning. We definitely appreciate you being on and being our last guest, for the year, closing out 2023. You all definitely go check out his YouTube channel. I got it posted in the comments. The YouTube link, Rod Uncensored. Please go check it out. I mean, if you paid attention to how he is today and his personality had us cracking up and about his perspective, please go check it out. It's definitely worth your time, for real.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And so Rod, host of the Rod Uncensored Network, man, we appreciate you coming on with us this morning, bro. Appreciate all the laughs, the great time rocking with us, my boy. Any final thoughts or shout outs we head into the weekend?
I gotta say this, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Keep on doing what y'all doing. I feel like we as Black people need to support each other in podcasting. It don't take too much, you know what I mean? Right now, I've probably been cleaning up or something, an hour or something. It's not nothing that deep, man. But it's how we build with each other, man. And networking is a key, and relationships is the keys to be successful. So we got to keep on moving as a people in this podcasting. And we can all, it don't take much to shoot a share. Oh, man, I like what Early Morning Sports Talk podcast doing. Man, I'm going to share this clip. I'm going to share this. It's not hurting each other, man, by sharing social media. Like, you know what I mean? It's not hurting nobody. And I appreciate what y'all did, man. And I'm glad I was able to come on, man, because I enjoyed myself. I just can't do dry sport podcasting. I like to have fun. And there's a lot of people that try to be ESPN, try to be Fox Sports 1, try to be these big networks. And I can't be a part of things like that. I'm glad y'all brothers got personality.
Absolutely. We take deep pride in that, brother. Everything here is original. Everything I write, Jamar is there. We help each other, etc. We are not an ESPN. We way too intelligent for that, me and Jamar in the first place. We are not no Fox Sports Network. We know how to create our own, do our own thing, and make it original. So appreciate you pointing that out, bro. That means a whole lot for us, man. So we appreciate your good encouragement, your good vibes, man, and just your good laughs, man. We had a blast with you, bro. We had an absolute blast. Go ahead, Jamar.
No, real talk. And then like he mentioned, like networking is everything. Just to support somebody just by hitting a share button. That takes nothing. That's free. It takes 2 seconds just to hit a share button. But
hit a like button.
Yeah. So yeah. No, Rod, we really appreciate you, bro. Like, no lie.
And I gotta say this before we get out of here. If y'all come on my channel, please, y'all might have to go on Sunday service. Y'all might have to go to confession. Because sometimes my nigga trees get a little bad at me. It gets the worst of me. So please don't judge me. Sometimes I like to vent and I go off to a little bit. So man, just go tip your pastor on Sunday, and God forgive you. God forgive you.
Okay. Yeah, man, we get it, bro. Rod Sense of Network. So we get it, bro. We definitely get it. It means,
I signed up already. I subscribed to you, bro.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah. Top of the hat to both of y'all fellas, man, because I appreciate y'all, man. I definitely do, man. I rock with y'all, man. Only thing I would say, suggestion-wise, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all need to start clipping y'all show into shorts, man, and watch it work, man. On YouTube, it's hard for brothers and people to watch a whole hour. Sometimes I cut my things back, but if y'all cut y'all clips, the best moments out of y'all shows, man, y'all grow, man. I started last year. Only had 5 people. That was my mama, my stepmama, my dad. You know what I mean? A couple people out of my family. But with this thing called TikTok and these reels, man, that's what people watch majority. Shorts. So man, get y'all best takes and put them in shorts, man. Y'all move, man. I love y'all content, man. I ain't blowing no air up y'all butts, man. Pause. You know what I mean? Keep on doing what y'all doing, man. Somebody's watching, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that, bro. For real, yup. And you ain't said nothing but a word, man. And so we definitely taking the notes, man. And so, Rod, we appreciate you. To our viewers, we appreciate you all for rocking with us. Victor, Tiana, etc. Frank, Deshaun, all the viewers that gave us commentary this morning. Pillar Price, like we appreciate you guys just giving us commentary, rocking with us, being here and being supportive. We appreciate you all here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcasting. We wish you all a happy and blessed new year. Stay safe. Keep God first. Put the guns down. Spread love. Spend that time with your family, man, and be there for one another. We need more love and support and not hate. And so I appreciate you all for rocking with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. And again, a happy new year. We all want more in 2024. Peace.